So there's multiple codes that are specific to CGM interpretation. There is CPT 95249, which is specific for CGM startup. And this can be billed once in the life of when a person starts a new device, but you do need to have 72 hours of data to use it. Then there's also the 95250, and this is for professional CGM, for the startup of using that device. And that can typically be billed anywhere from 2 to 4 times a year, depending on someone's insurance. And then there's the 95251, which is for CGM interpretation, whether that's done through the professional or the personal CGM. And then depending on insurance, that can be billed up to once every month. So many people can be involved in providing the service. In terms of the education and training, the 95249 and the 95250, that can be anyone from medical assistant, the diabetes care and education specialist, dietitian, nurse, pharmacist. So many can be involved in providing the service for that code. Now, for the CGM interpretation, CMS is specific that needs to be performed by a nurse practitioner, a PA, or a physician. However, many practices will utilize other members of the healthcare team to provide part of that service or a preliminary interpretation, which is then reviewed and co-signed by one of those 3 respective providers. So generally, the documentation does not have to be very extensive. The easiest thing is if you can just put in the ambulatory glucose profile report or the key metrics, and then you need some type of a minimum interpretation, like is the time in range at target or above target? What do you notice about hypoglycemia, hyperglycemia, and glucose variability? And then what your recommendations would be based on your interpretation of those findings. Streamlining the process really helps. For example, in my health system, we have our medical assistants. When they go to download or look up someone's data, they paste in the 1-page AGP report directly into the chart. And that's done for virtual visits and in-person visits. And it's so convenient because then all of that information is there. And that makes, doing the interpretation very, very easy. We have also created an interpretation pool, which is run by our clinical pharmacy team, where providers can send interpretations that are sent in between visits so that someone can review it quickly and provide that documentation. So there's a lot of ways that it can be done, but coming up with a process and then executing it is important. For more information, visit the American Diabetes Association's Time in Range website at professional.diabetes.org/time in range.